Hey everyone, it's Tristan from alltab.me, and today I got my hands on the Goole Pixel 3. Now, as a photographer, I love pushing the limits of what any camera can do. I don't care if it's, a DSLR, mirrorless, or a cell phone. I think that the technology that's going into phones these days is absolutely fantastic, and I love pushing them to the limits and seeing what they can do and seeing how much power and how much performance we can get out of these things in our pockets. As many people have quoted, the best camera is the camera you have with you. I've done a bunch of shoots with iPhone. I've done, short films. I've done photo shoots. I've done, professional work. I've done commercial work, and all on my mobile device. So I was really interested in seeing how the Pixel 3 holds up. Now, this isn't going to be a very technical shoot. This isn't going to be like, pixel peeping and stuff like that. This is going to just see what this thing can do, how well it does it, and if it just works. Is it something that you can pull out of your pocket and get a professional shot with? Now, of course, we're going to apply photography 101 to it. We're going to use lighting when we need to. We're going to, get the right outfits. We're going to get the right settings. We're going to treat this as if I had my Sony A7R III in my hand. I'm also going to be bringing my Sony with me so that we can get some comparison shots here or there. The overall idea of this is just to have fun. I gave my friend Natalie a call. She's super talented. She's a model. She does photography. You'll meet her in a minute. And this video is basically a behind the scenes of us just going out there and having some fun, but with the idea that, we're both professionals in our industry and really just trying to push the Pixel 3 to the max and seeing what it can do. And I will give you this little bit of a spoiler. The magic of the Goole Pixel 3 really is in the AI learning, what it does in post-processing, what it does after you hit that shutter button. And that to me was the most magical part of this entire shoot. And I'm really excited to share that with you because I wasn't ready for what I saw on the screen after shooting it, because it blew me away. Some of the shots were like, holy crap, I would have needed so much equipment to pull that off with my Sony. It's really interesting how far we've come when it comes to computational learning and what that can do to enhance a photo, and in such a small little package as well. Just take this for what it is. It's just going out, having some fun, and trying to make the best of what you have. And that's really all you can ask for, is make the best of what you have, use what you can to tell the story that you want to tell. And that's exactly what we tried to do here. A lot of people are gonna ask, but it's a cell phone, it'll never replace your camera. Of course not, it's not gonna replace your camera, but if it can hold up well, that's a really good thing. And there are some features on these cell phones, with the depth mapping and the AI learning and stuff like that, that mirrorless cameras don't have. Those are the things that I really like to push, because those are the things I'd like to eventually see in, let's say, the Sony systems. Why don't we just jump right into this? We're gonna bring Natalie in. Peter's gonna be doing the behind the scenes. All their links will be in the description below. And I hope you just enjoy the ride, because that's what we did. We just went out there, we had a lot of fun. We tried to make some art, and that's it. Tap on her face and it stays on her for focus.
Who knew?
it's getting the right color.
Yeah, I think the skin tone is complementary. That sometimes is difficult.
Right, like you're not orange.
Right.
And your
Which
clothes
would
are
be
matching the background, which is really nice. So
yeah, it's balancing color really well.
yeah, so far I'm impressed. So. I think without the sun we're better, because this is the color.
It handles flat really well.
Yeah, it does really well when there's not sun out. So.
Who knew?
Not me. I'm sucker for you.
Look, it's fun on Tristan Pope shoots.
We just finished shooting with the Goole Pixel 3 with Natalie, and behind the camera, say hello.
Hey.
And okay, first of all, Natalie is super talented. She's a dancer, she's a photographer, she does a lot of really cool creative stuff. What is your Instagram so they can follow you?
My Instagram is @NatalieDarren, my middle name, DERYN, and Lady Darren for photos.
There you go. So follow her there. She's awesome, very cool girl. And we had a blast. Some of the shots were actually pretty spectacular. Like
Yeah, like the sun was glorious.
the sun and the fake sun that we made. I think the ultimate thing here is that what you get from this is that the phone itself can do some really cool stuff that you wouldn't expect it to be able to do. Like it can do the HDR, it can get the clouds exposed and her face exposed. But at the end of the day, you still have to apply some photography techniques to it, and you know, add some lighting and get creative with it. And that's really what we did. Is we just we picked out some cool outfits.
Yeah.
We found some cool locations. And we just got creative, and we made the phone work for us.
Yeah. It ended up being pretty like dramatic and cinematic, and
the shots by the waterfront, I think, were probably the most cinematic shots.
Yeah.
And that's when we mixed, artificial lighting and real lighting, and then the phone itself was doing this crazy post-processing in the camera, and it just, I don't know, it looks really just very cool to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you so much for coming.
So welcome. So much fun.
Always good times, and hope to see you all soon. As always, if you like the video, feel free to hit the like button. You can also ask any questions in the comment section below. If
Conversation.
Yeah. Oh God, I'm sorry, don't do it. It's scary these days. You can also subscribe if you haven't. Or you could dislike the video if you hated it. So yeah, it's all good.
Choices.
I will see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching, and I don't have an outro. So as you can see, there's actually a lot of really cool things that the Pixel 3 offers. Overall, as a generalized statement, it takes phenomenal photos. As you can see, when I took a Pixel shot and I put it right next to a Sony A7 III shot, it was very hard to discern the difference. One of the things I think could be improved is the post-processing that the camera does to the photo itself. I wish you had access to how much it applied the contrast and the sharpening. It does add an excessive amount of sharpening, and it does add a lot of contrast. Actually, a weird solution I found for this was going into Lightroom, dragging the slider for denoising. For some reason, denoising took away a lot of the sharpening, which it makes a little bit of sense, but at the same time, it doesn't. So it was kind of a weird little hack, and it made the photo look a lot more pleasing to the eye, in my opinion. There are a couple of things that the camera offers, like it has the RAW or JPEG. Side by side, there isn't really that much of a difference. I still wouldn't shoot in RAW. For a mobile phone to really take advantage of RAW, I think it would need a larger sensor. You get basically the exact same image with like minuscule amounts of difference in quality. Even if you punch in, it's pretty much the same exact thing. Maybe the hair strands will be a little bit sharper, but overall it's pretty much the same thing. So right now I would say just stick to JPEG. You're pretty good there. You'll also save a lot of file space with that. I do think that the Pixel 3 needs a secondary lens. The reason I say that is because Lightroom and a lot of the other programs use the depth mapping from two lenses that can't be achieved in one lens. Because of it's one lens, it's using AI learning to apply that depth map, and that depth map isn't being saved. That kind of format holds all of that data into the picture itself, which maybe that's just something that Google needs to update so that, you know, instead of JPEG, it is that format, and then it'll retain all that information. Because if you go into Lightroom, you can actually access all of that data and all that information, and you do some really magical stuff with it. So I think that second lens would really be beneficial, especially if you wanted a different focal length, because with the Pixel, it's a very wide focal length, and being able to punch in and get like that 50mm equivalent would be really nice. Zooming doesn't really change the compression of distance, so it's still a wide angle lens, but overall it looks really nice. So like I said, it's some things that I think could improve. One other thing, and I think this is just an Android issue, maybe it's a RAM issue, I'm not really sure, but when you hit that shutter button, or you're trying to take, you know, a sequence of shots and you want it to just snap off really fast, there is a lot of buffering. There's a lot of delay. You cannot really do action as well with this. I actually found at certain points when I was shooting where I was hitting it, and all of a sudden I was like, and this is especially in portrait mode, because portrait mode doesn't show you live previews of the blur in the background, so you're not really sure what you're gonna get. It does it after, so you shoot the shot and then it shows you, and that in and of itself I think would be really nice to see live. And also when you're shooting a bunch of portrait mode photos, you know, in a row, you're gonna get some lag, and it's gonna stop you from taking photos. It's gonna say, no, wait, we're processing. And that was a little bit of a moment when I had, like, you know, the wind was coming and it was a really cool shot, and I was like, couldn't machine gun it. Overall, I think Android in itself is just a little bit slower when it comes to taking photos. I'm not sure if it's the operating system, if it's the hardware. I just know that it just takes a little bit more time. The other thing is that if, you know, for a phone that is promoting a camera and stuff like that, some external storage or higher storage amounts would be really nice. 64 gigs, which is the base model, which I'm using, is just not enough. 128 gigs would probably suffice me a lot better, but like if you think about it, if this is your daily driver, all of your games and your photos and your documents and your music and stuff are going to be on your phone. So that storage gets taken up really quickly. So getting a lot of photos on there, it starts to fill up pretty fast. I guess Google Drive is supposed to be, Google Photos is supposed to be a solution to that, but to me it was just not really, I would rather be able to have everything on the phone and not have to worry about the storage space. Plus having that SD card would be really nice. I'm not really sure why they removed it in the first place, but that's what it is. There is a weird compatibility issue with portrait mode shots in Adobe Premiere. You cannot put a portrait mode shot from the Pixel 3 into Adobe Premiere without it spiking your RAM to the point where it crashes your system. It just doesn't work. It's a known issue, and they haven't made a workaround for it yet. So you have to basically go into Photoshop. You can't even export it from Lightroom. You have to go into Photoshop, resave the photo as either a PNG or a different JPEG, and then it won't spike your Premiere's RAM to be unusable. So that was a strange little bug I found. Yeah, so it would be really nice to be able to see, on the camera itself, live previews of what you're shooting and what you're gonna get. I know a lot of the stuff that's happening, the magic, like I said, is Google's AI and the way that it's processing its HDR+ and the way that it's processing its portrait mode. But to be able to see what your photo is going to look like before you take the shot and not have to wait for it to process and then you see, oh, that's what it's gonna look like. I mean, a lot of those moments were like, whoa, that's really cool, but a lot of those moments were also like, crap, I didn't know it was gonna do that. So if there was a way for Google to figure out how to show you a live preview of what you're going to get before you shoot it, I think that would be very beneficial to the system itself. So other than that, I'm really, really impressed. I've enjoyed shooting with this. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. As always, just go out there, shoot, enjoy, have fun, use what you have, use what tells your story best, and just, push it to the limits, man. You have to get creative, and if you get creative, the sky is the limit. Well, thanks for watching, and once again, I'm Tristan, and I'll see you in the next one. Oh, are you filming?